While I'm telling you this story, you'll find me living in an old farmhouse deep in the countryside of Iowa, miles from the nearest town. Out here, you don't hear traffic or people. You only hear the wind brushing through the cornfields and the old wooden boards creaking under the weight of time. The place used to belong to a man named Mr. Harris. Folks in the nearby town said he'd lived here all his life. His family used to own the land, but after his wife passed away, he stopped going into town. He kept to himself. People said the farm was cursed. I didn't believe that. I was just looking for a cheap place to stay, quiet, peaceful, away from everyone. So when Mr. Harris offered me a room in exchange for helping him around the farm, I said yes. But there's something about silence, the kind that's too deep. It starts to eat at you. The first few nights were fine, but then strange things started happening. Every night, right around 2 or 3 in the morning, I'd hear footsteps upstairs, slow, uneven, dragging. Sometimes I'd hear the sound of something heavy sliding across the floor, and sometimes I'd hear a low humming sound, almost like someone was praying or whispering words I couldn't understand. I thought it was just the old man. Maybe he couldn't sleep. Until one night, I heard the footsteps, went upstairs, and his door was wide open. The room was empty. His bed was untouched. That night, I didn't sleep. The next morning, Mr. Harris came back just before sunrise. His boots were covered in mud, and there was that smell again, like damp earth and rusted iron. I asked him where he'd been, and he just looked at me and said, "Some things are better left alone." I laughed it off, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. That evening, I saw him heading out again, carrying a small lantern and a leather bag. I waited until he disappeared into the woods, then I followed. He walked straight to the old barn, the one he never let me enter. The door was locked with a heavy chain, but when I got close, I could hear something from inside, a faint knocking sound, slow and rhythmic. When I turned around to leave, I saw him standing right behind me. "I told you not to come here." His voice was low, shaking, not with anger, but fear. Then he said something that still haunts me. "If you hear it knocking, don't open the door. It's not me." That night, I stayed awake again. Around 3 a.m., I heard it. 3 knocks, slow, from downstairs. I froze. My heart was pounding. Then it came again, louder this time. I grabbed my flashlight and went down. The knocking stopped. The front door was wide open, wind pushing the curtains, and on the porch, muddy footprints leading back toward the barn. I followed them. When I reached the barn, the door was already unlocked. Inside, the air was thick, heavy. My flashlight flickered. And in the middle of the floor, I saw a hole, freshly dug, surrounded by shovels and dirt. Then the sound came again, knocking. But this time, it wasn't from the door. It was coming from underneath the ground. I stepped closer, shining the light into the hole. For a second, I saw something, pale skin, like a hand trying to reach out. Before I could react, someone grabbed my shoulder. I turned around. It was Mr. Harris. His face was pale, his eyes sunken. He looked terrified. "You shouldn't have followed me," he said. "Now it knows you." He pushed me back and started shoveling dirt into the hole, fast, desperate. I screamed at him, asking what was down there. He didn't answer. He just kept saying the same thing over and over. It was my wife. I tried to bring her back. Then something grabbed the shovel from his hands and pulled him in. I ran. I didn't look back. When the police came, the barn was empty. No hole, no tools, no sign of Mr. Harris. Just an old wooden table with a single leather bag sitting on top. Damp, muddy, and tied shut. They said it was probably an accident, that I imagined the rest. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear the knocking. And when I look out the window, there's always a lantern glowing faintly near the barn.